Hello everyone, back tuning in to the 21st Christmas update. So, we've done 20 updates so far. We started off using the CFS V2 for the first 19. And then the last one, we went exclusively to the GFS, because now Christmas is within the time frame of the GFS model. It doesn't quite look to New Year yet, but most of the Christmas period now within the time frame of the GFS. So, we're going to have a look at its latest run, the midday run of the GFS, in a moment. When we did these updates using the CFS, many of the updates were cold, and I wanted to have a look back and see how many of the updates with CFS were cold. Haven't had time to do that, but I'll try and get that done when I do the 22nd Christmas update, which will be on Friday. It would be interesting to know how many of CFS Christmas updates were suggesting cold weather. But anyway, we've discarded with CFS now and moved on to the GFS. So I'll get on with the Christmas update in a moment. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. If you have browse widgets to click through the links, you'll be happy to pay. Website, thanks very much for doing that. And just say about Christmas shopping, it's still open. You've still got time to get Christmas shopping out to you via Amazon. So if you want to do any Christmas shopping at Amazon, all you have to do is click through the Amazon banners within the Christmas shop. You click the green button that says Christmas shop, then you go to our Christmas shop page. Then from there, click through the Amazon banners. Go straight through to Amazon. Christian Gone from Gas to Amazon Weekend Review fee on things that you're buying. Still time to get the Christmas presents out to you, but don't leave it too much on because time is getting on, just 10 days away from Christmas Eve. And big thank to everybody doing that, been a huge success again this year. So let's get on with the 21st Christmas update. We're going to start with the GFS model on Wednesday, 21st of December, a week today. There's been a big flip happened over the last few hours with these models, particularly GFS. They have, they have all moved to a much more Atlantic-driven mobile pattern, and we see the evidence of this for the chart for a week today, Wednesday 22nd of December. Got deep areas of low pressure with these purple curves. That's the polar vortex really setting in across Greenland and Iceland, and it's bringing these strong westerly winds through across the country. That looks a bit ominous in terms of stormy weather, to be honest. So upper air temperatures for Wednesday suggest fairly mild air in the south, but it's a bit colder up to the north, and showers up there actually could be a bit on the winter side as we begin to pull colder air associated with that intense polar vortex out of Canada and Greenland, moving across the Atlantic. So quite an unsettled scene. We've got some rain here in the south and the east, and these showers up to the north will probably be wintry. Temperatures are mild in the south at around 10, 11, 12 degrees, but they are cooler up in the north, and Scotland actually looks quite cold. Thursday 22nd of December brings a storm into Scotland. We haven't had much of this over the autumn and winter so far, but that looks proper stormy for the north on 22nd of December, no doubt, with heavy rain driving across all parts of the country as well. Wet and windy weather. Upper air temperatures look mild initially, but again, colder air is coming out of the northwestern part of the Atlantic. There's quite a lot of rain in there, showers, longer spells of rain, and yes, I think some of those could be wintry up in the north, but the main thing for that day, Thursday 22nd, just before Christmas, of course, is stormy winds, could be up to gale or severe gale force for Scotland. Temperatures look technically mild, but in the north particularly would be colder. This is Friday 23rd of December, and again, it looks pretty unsettled. We are building up a slight transient region of the Atlantic, but generally, it's Atlantic westerlies all the way, very Atlantic-driven pattern. We're bringing pretty cold air in across the northern part of the country, so showers could be wintry there. You tend not to get wintry showers with this sort of pattern for England and Wales. Have a look at the precipitation forecast. Showers in the north and west, mostly dry elsewhere. And the temperatures are around average, so in the south, 5, 6, 7 degrees. In the north, 2s, 3s, 4s. Would be cold enough for wintry showers there for Scotland. So this is Christmas Eve, and because we're in this mobile westerly pattern, we bring another low pressure through off the Atlantic, and that looks milder with the upper air temperatures with that area of low pressure. But again, tiny packed isobar, so it is windy for the north, and a lot of heavy rain in the north as well. Not too much in the south, but loads of wet weather up in the north. Proper wet and windy Christmas Eve there for the northern parts of the country. And temperatures in the south are still mild at around 10, 11 or 12 degrees, or they become mild 11 or 12 degrees, but it's colder for the north. That is cold enough Again, across parts of Scotland, those showers to turn wintry. This our Christmas Day is looking, so that stormy system that we have on Christmas Eve is moving away to the northeast, allowing a slight transient ridge to build. But look, more low pressures waiting in the central part of the Atlantic. This is a true Atlantic-driven pattern. We haven't seen it very often at all over the past few months. Actually, the upper air temperatures are quite cold on Christmas Day, so for the north it does suggest there is a risk of some wintry showers up there. That's cold enough wintry showers in the north. There's a suggestion of maybe longer spells of precipitation, which could be wintry over the hills, particularly across Scotland, but also coming down to Northern Ireland and northwest England. Elsewhere, though, it will just be rain showers. They may look quite fleeting. Actually, most places do look dry. Temperatures in the south around 10 degrees, so mild enough there. But in the north, it is a bit colder. Temperatures 3, 4, 5 degrees for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Boxing Day brings that next area of low pressure in from the Atlantic. That looks quite stormy as well. Big warm sector coming in with that, so the temperatures getting a real push up on Boxing Day. Wet and windy, heavy rain in the west. That would be sweeping eastwards through the day. Might start off with a frost on, excuse me again, Boxing Day morning in the east. But essentially, it's wet and windy, and it would turn pretty mild. The temperatures are suggested to be around 4 to 6 degrees or 4 to 7 degrees. But look, it is turning very much milder out to the west and the southwest, and that would be heading in across all parts of the country by the end of the day. And then bank holiday Tuesday, which is 27th of December, we're pulling up very mild winds into England and Wales. It's a bit colder for Scotland. So real warm sector coming up there. The air's pumping up all the way from the Canary Islands. There's quite a bit of rain around as well. Have been warning on the videos that I've done today, if you want a cold Christmas, these charts are not going to be, or this update, not going to be very good for you. And well, you're seeing the evidence of it right now. So it's wet and it's very mild for the 27th of December on this update. Temperatures are up into the mid-teens Celsius, 12, 13, possibly 14 or 15 degrees in the south. Still mild with those southwesterly winds for Wednesday. We're moving on beyond Christmas up towards New Year now, of course. Upper air temperatures look relatively mild. Very wet in the north and west. That does suggest several days of really wet weather for northwestern parts of the country. Looks a bit ominous, I have to say, bearing in mind what happened last Christmas in the northwest. Very mild in the south, but it is colder up in the north. Thursday, 29th of December, and we're beginning to lose the unsettled conditions. So the low pressure starting to ease in the middle of the Atlantic, pressures rising to the south and southeast, going back perhaps towards the pattern that we have through most of December, which is high pressure dominated. Upper air temperatures are still mild but a bit cooler, and it's turning mostly dry there as well. Temperatures have edged down back closer to the seasonal average. And then we finish up as far as we can go with the GFS on Friday, 30th of December, with that high pressure beginning to move up towards Scandinavia, interestingly. And again, we're blocking off the Atlantic. The winds are in from the south or southeast, so it would be pleasantly mild, but you'd have to wait to see where that high pressure is going. Upper air temperatures look mild, it's mostly dry, and temperatures of around 8 or 9 degrees would be very pleasant. But beyond that, it's possible that high pressure would go to Scandinavia and it might turn colder. For New Year, we would have to wait and see. But obviously, it's a very Atlantic-driven pattern. We haven't seen, interestingly, when we did the other Christmas updates with CFS, there were very few that suggested this kind of Atlantic onslaught. So it could well be that CFS has got the pattern wrong for this Christmas. And we're going to have a bit of a battering. It's still a bit early away, a bit too far away to have confidence in this. It might be that it's overdoing the Atlantic signal, but the point is that all models really now are suggesting this is what we're getting next week. So I'm fairly confident this is how it's going to play out, but there's still time for a change, and we will do the 22nd update on Friday evening. Right, that's all for now. Sorry if it wasn't what you all wanted to hear, but I can only call it as the charts are showing it. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.